come on in because we are finally here to review the finale, the final coronation for King's Court season one. And you know what? We're really not going to review the show because it's been so long ago, but we can review the show and the aftermath because I went ahead and did a little bit more digging to figure out, are these couples still together? So first of all, let's go over Tyson because we know he ain't with nobody because he didn't choose nobody. What a mess. What a mess and what an ick factor Tyson has. Tyson came up in here and poo-pooed all over this TV screen. He really should have let sleeping dogs lie because before I saw Tyson on this King's Court, I think I had pretty good opinions of him. I mean, I didn't know much about him, so I didn't have no negative opinions. But my opinion of Tyson now is he's really icky. He is really, really, really icky. He got a lot of problems, a lot of problems. He really needs to go lay on the therapist's couch and figure this all out because he's too old at 54 years old to still be running around here like this. And just like Felicia said, he's a child and she's ready to be with a grown man. You can't turn, well, they try to say you can't turn a hoe into a housewife. Well, you can't turn a playboy into a king. And Tyson is no king. He sure is not. He ain't even a prince, to be honest with you. Now, Tyson wants us to believe that, you know, the reason why he's so messed up and he can't trust women, because that's why he said he didn't choose Jennifer or Felicia, because he couldn't trust them. Right. You was up here flirting with women at the gym, but you can't trust them. And I believe he was flirting with women at the gym. I believe that story. But you come to find out that Tyson believes that the reason why he's so distrusting of women is because of the breakup he had in 2015, 10 years ago. This is what Tyson wants us to believe, that that woman broke his heart so badly that now he can't trust women. So even when that other young lady went home, what was her name? Sarah, she went home because he found out she dated R. Kelly and he felt betrayed by that. I guess it was triggering because we find out that Tyson was engaged to this woman, Shanina or something. She was a model too. And they dated for 7 years. So first of all, Tyson, you dated her for 7 years and you didn't even marry her. But then all of a sudden you want to tell people you was going to propose and you was heartbroken when she cheated on you. Well, she had been dating you for 7 years and you never did pull the trigger and get engaged. And lo and behold, we find out that after she broke up with Tyson, within 2 years, she was married to one of Tyson's friends. There you go. Maybe that's why he says he's so shook. But here's the backstory. The worst part of the story is that when he was dating that girl, she was only 17 or 18 years old, and he was 38 years old. You hear what I'm saying? That woman was 17, 18 years old. She was still a teenager. Okay. Yeah, she's a legal adult at 18, but she's still in her teens, 17, 18. He was 38 years old. It's given creepy old man. It really is. And here he was on this show at 54 years old, trying to date Felicia and Jennifer, women who are also 20 years his junior. If Tyson weren't good looking, he'd be the creepy old man. He'd be the creepy old man. And let me tell you, I'm going to give him that title anyway, even though he is good looking, because he's looking more creepier and more icky by the moment. He didn't do himself a service by coming on this show. He really did ruin his brand. Let me tell you, it's ruined. I never did buy completely that he even liked Felicia to that level. Because Felicia don't look like none of his exes. None of his exes. His exes may look like Jennifer, but his exes do not look like Felicia. Not at all. I think he was coming over here to sort of improve his image, like he said, but it didn't do him any service. It really didn't. Both Jennifer and Felicia ought to be happy that he passed on them because he saved them a whole lot of heartache, because I don't see him getting married anytime soon. In fact, he was on The Breakfast Club with Charlamagne the God and DJ Envy. And he told them that if he could marry two women and have polygamy, he would. There you go. That's the real Tyson. Tyson said if he had the money and could afford two wives, he would have them. So that's what we're dealing with. He should have never been chosen for this show. Some people should stay off dating shows, and Tyson's one of them. He don't need to come back. And then we had Thaddeus, who chose Dr. Kalia, and now we know they're not even together. They broke up. Not surprised. Not surprised at all. Am I surprised that he chose Dr. Kalia? No, I'm not surprised because on paper, in his mind, he believes Dr. Kalia is the woman that he wants. But he doesn't really get along with a woman like Dr. Kalia, not long term. Dr. Kalia is a whole doctor. She got things to do, people to see, places to go, responsibilities. She got a son. She's not going to be with the bull crap. She's not going to be running around with Thaddeus, all the places he wants to go. She's got other things to do. And so I don't really see how their lives would come together. He wants this boss chick, this woman with businesses, and this woman with things to do. But how does that fit with your life, Thaddeus? You have all these engagements that you go to, places you go to. You're going to need a woman that doesn't have much of a career or who has a flex career to follow you around, much like Boozer is getting with Janae. I'm not saying Janae's not, successful in her own right, but her career, her job, her entrepreneurship, her content creating job, she can do it anywhere. She can do it anywhere, and it can come secondary to her being with Carlos Boozer. But Thaddeus, I don't know. He has ideas of what he wants in a woman, but that woman actually doesn't fit well in his life, and he doesn't get along well with that woman. Even Ariel said it best. She said she doesn't even think that they're a good couple because they're kind of too much alike. And when I say too much alike and how I agree with her is that they're very cerebral. They're very logical in their thoughts and cerebral and calculating and thinking, but yet thinking it and doing it are two different things. Um, Thaddeus has a really hard time taking what he says he wants and actually practicing that in his real life. And I think Dr. Clea would have a hard time taking what she also wants to be to Thaddeus and being able to be that person day in and day out. Maybe here and there, but you know. Dr. Kalia is used to having a brain and using it. And honestly, Thaddeus says he wants a woman with a brain, but not really. He really wants that woman to go along with what he says, what he does, and think like he does. He don't want to be challenged. Get out of here. Not at all. But in the end, we find out they're not together anyway. Looks like they spent a little bit of time together. I ran through a couple of the Instagram pages and they dated a little while, but somewhere along the way it went bad. And then we got to see the Instagram post by Dr. Kalia saying, it was great. I learned a lot. And now I'm going to focus on myself. All right, Dr. Kalia. Anyway, the other couple that seemed to make it and is doing well and thriving and in love and growing is Janae and Carlos Boozer. And he's all over her Instagram page. So they obviously are all together. And she wants every woman out there to know he's mine because she must post a picture of him every other day. She said, I want everybody to know this man is mine. And she says, I'm going to try to keep the women away as she tries to work on her jealousy. And looks like they're doing okay. I mean, it's been over a year and they're still together. They're still thriving. And he gave her that ring, that promise ring, at the end of the show and said he promises to love her and, be there for her and comfort her and be true to her and all those kind of things. And I believe him. I really do believe him because one thing I know about Carlos Boozer is he's relationship minded. He likes being in relationships. He likes being married. He likes actually being in a committed relationship. I really don't get Playboy vibes from him. I know that he's a cheater. He cheated on both of his ex-wives, it sounds like from the news. I don't know for certain. We know for certain he cheated on the first wife, but there's rumblings that he also cheated on the second wife and that the second wife was really a woman he cheated on while he was with the first wife. Now, I don't know if all this is true, but it could be. And but what I do know from Carlos Boozer is he likes relationships. He fell in love with Janae very, very fast. And I wish they had shown more of the interaction with Carlos and Janae other than what they showed. Because really what they showed between them was Carlos falling in love with a pretty woman, love at first sight. It's almost as if we didn't learn anything more about Janae than Carlos did. And then, which seemed like they didn't even know that much about each other, but somehow they were in love. And then the only part we saw of Janae was her being jealous and mean-spirited. So I really wish they would have shown more of the deeper parts of their relationship so we could truly understand how they grew their bond. But nonetheless, they did. They love each other. They're together even after a year. And looks like they're moving on to bigger and better things. And hopefully down the road, they will get engaged, not just a promise ring, and they'll get married. Now, should she still be concerned about all the women, following him around and dropping his DMs? I don't think so much to the extent of I think he's locked in on her. But you do have to ask yourself, why does he have a history of cheating? And what I believe it is because he too, like a lot of high profile men, they like attention. And I think one of the things that Carlos said he liked about Janae was that Janae was all about him. And during the time in the house, Janae was very focused on him. Janae locked in on him. Janae was able to give him all her time and attention. And I think Carlos likes that. And he's not different from a lot of high profile men. They demand a lot of attention, all of your attention. And maybe what happens with Carlos is as children come in the marriage, maybe that's when things go awry because now the woman's attention is divided between him and the children, and maybe that's not enough for Carlos. So I would just caution Janae that as they move along and they get married and have children, that she pays a special close attention to that area because I think Carlos might be susceptible to cheating when he feels neglected by his wife or if he believes his wife's attention is somewhere else, either on her business or either on children. So I don't think that they're living together, but I wouldn't put it past Carlos to move Janae in with him because I think he likes a woman close to him. I think he likes a relationship. I think he likes the security and safety of that and the attention he gets with that. So I wouldn't be surprised if he moves fast with her, if he decides to get married. I know they had the whole conversation about the prenup, and it looks like Janae is going to give into it. I don't know why she would expect she wouldn't have to sign one. But I think Carlos has learned from his past marriages. I suspect that when he was married to the first wife, there was no prenup. So I'm sure that wife got a pretty hefty part of his net worth because he did have several children with her. And then maybe the wife he just divorced 3 years ago might have also received some good child support. And what Carlos is saying is, I'm not trying to give up my net worth going forward here, so we're going to need a prenup. So I know Janae mentioned she has some friends who she thought got the short end of the stick during a prenup. Well, just get you a better lawyer, but you will have to sign one. And if she doesn't sign it, I doubt he will marry her. I really doubt because a man may love you, but he also loves his money. He sure does. But I wish them the best. I'm hoping that we get to see a wedding out of these two. We don't often see weddings coming from these reality TV shows, and it would be nice to see one coming from Janae and Carlos because they really do look happy. They really do look in love. And they really look as if they have found a person in each other that they've been looking for. So congratulations to them. I love love and I wish them all the best. But that kind of wraps up my review of this final episode of King's Court. Not much to say because I'm so late. But hopefully when the show comes back for the third season, I'll have more time to really get into it. Anyway, that's all I got, y'all. I will talk to you later. Bye.